What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news. And before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. We're getting closer to 180,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed yet, make sure to hit the button below. Now, as for some of the highlights in this video, we have new photos of the Air Jordan 6 reverse infrared. As well, I got to talk about the Air Jordan 1 High 85 Bred. A lot of misinformation going around. I'm also going to kind of go on a rant about those in regards to the misinformation, correcting that, and with the new information, it'll make more sense, and that will be later on in the video. As well, we got to talk about these upcoming Air Jordan 40 hybrids and mashups. You may have seen 2 colorways, but I'm going to leak 3 more upcoming pairs later on. Now, there's quite a bit more from Jordan Brand, actually a lot, and we have a good amount of stuff from Nike as well. And now let's jump into the news. Official images popped up of the Nike LeBron 23 grand opening, but with that, we do have a release date. Now, this is one of my favorite colorways so far of the LeBron 23, and it actually pays tribute to the Air Zoom generation, specifically the first game colorway. LeBron would play his first NBA game for the Cavs against the Sacramento Kings on October 29th, 2003. So for this pair, they're scheduled to drop on November 1st, so just outside the anniversary of his first game, and the retail price will be $210. Not only do we have new images of the Nike Book 1 What The, but we have a release date. Now, as most of you know, these are going to be limited. Only 1,996 pairs will be released, which is also a tribute to Devin Booker's birth year of 1996. So like past What The releases, this pair combines elements from previous Book 1 colorways, as well as colors and materials. And in the previous video, I've gone over the shoes already, so I'll just give you the release info. And they're currently scheduled to drop on December 16th, and the retail price is $170. Now, I'm not sure how they're going to be released. Obviously, they're limited, and I would expect them to drop on Nike, or the sneakers app, I should say, but that part hasn't been confirmed. But like always, more information coming soon. Alright, so in this video, I got to go over several press releases from Nike, and the first one is on the Nike Mind 001 and the Nike Mind 002. It's titled, Nike debuts its first neuroscience-based footwear to help athletes feel calm, focused, and present. So, jumping into things, Nike is introducing its first neuroscience-based footwear, 2 mind-altering silhouettes designed to help athletes lock in their mindset before and after competition. Scientifically shown to activate key sensory areas of the brain via underfoot stimulation, the Nike Mind 001 Mule and the Mind 002 sneaker deepen an athlete's awareness, helping ground them in their bodies and bring them back to the present moment. An engineering and manufacturing challenge over 10 years in the making, the Mind 001 and Mind 002 feature 22 independent foam nodes per shoe that are bonded to a flexible, water-resistant material that allows them to act as pistons and gimbals as athletes move, imparting the feeling and even the texture of the ground directly beneath. This interaction heightens sensory awareness, which can help clear away distractions and enhance concentration. The Mind 001 and Mind 002 are the first innovations born from Nike's Mind Science Department, a cutting-edge group within the Nike Sport Research Lab that's deepening Nike's understanding of the mind-body connection. Leveraging one of a very few mobile brain and body imaging labs in the world, the Mind Science Department's neuroscientists study the nervous system, brain activity, and cognitive of athletes in motion, leading to unique insights in forming a completely new category of products and services to help athletes better prepare, train, compete, and recover. One of the major technological advances Nike is unveiling this month, the Nike Mind platform joins innovation across air apparel, advanced cooling, and powered footwear, in demonstrating the depth, breadth, and impact of the brand's commitment to creating the future of sport through athlete-centered innovation. The Mind 001 Mule offers easy on, easy off convenience and comfort while the Mine 002 sneaker anchors the foot to the footbed for increased sensation and support. To complement Nike Mine's innovation application of mind science research, every element of both styles, form, material, and construction was carefully considered to ensure premium experience of the technology. This amplifies the athlete's connection with their footwear, environment, and body, making the Mine 001 and Mine 002 not only worn but felt. The Mine 001 and the Mine 002 will be available in January 2026 at Nike.com and select stores. So the Mine 001, that's the mule pair, that one will retail at $90, and the Mine 002 will cost $145. So far we have two colorways of the Mine 001. One is dressed in solar red, the other features light smoke gray. And so far for the Nike Mine 002, we have light smoke gray. I'm kind of interested in the mule, just as something to wear. I actually think it looks nice. Yes, all the tech is really cool, but I'm more interested in just getting something, to wear around casually. But who knows, if it really does help before I hit the gym, then yeah, it would be pretty dope to have them. Official images recently popped up of the Nike Air Foamposite Pro Pine Green. Now, these initially dropped in 2011 and they are returning for the holiday season. Now, images have shown different color variations of the shoe, which in my opinion is due to the lighting. I think it was the last set of images that I showcased. The green looked a lot more vibrant, but with the official images, the green does look closer to the original release, which I like a lot. Now, I know some people have already got their hands on these a bit early. I've been seeing pairs floating around. Unfortunately, none of my local spots have got them early, so I'm not able to check them out in hand. I'm really excited to, but if you're looking to pick them up, they're going to drop on December 19th. The retail price will be $240. In typical Nike fashion, we saw a collaboration being placed on a sneaker, and then we have GR colorways coming, and this is the Nike Baltoro High. The model was originally released in the 1990s and part of the ACG line, which stands for All Conditions Gear. Now, although initially somewhat of like a hiking boot, a lot of people wore it just to wear, not actually to hike, and people like Fresh Prince wore the model and other people. But we have 3 upcoming colorways. One of them I definitely want to pick up, and the first pair comes dressed in bright spruce, fruit punch, celestial gold, and kumquat. This is the pair I want. This looks a lot like the original colorway. Now, the second pair is also really nice. It's toned down compared to the first, and it features baroque brown, midnight navy, black, and midnight green. The third pair is also very nice, nothing vibrant, and it features a black, metallic gold, and white colorway. Now, as for a specific release date for the 3, unfortunately, we don't have that, but they are expected to drop this holiday season, so pretty much any time now between October and December. Hopefully it takes place sooner rather than later, and the retail price will be $145 each. We have a new colorway of the Nike Air Diamond Turf that recently popped up, and this pair is known as Dallas Cowboys. As most of you know, this is Deion Sanders' signature shoe, and he did play for the Cowboys from 1995 to 1999. He also won a Super Bowl with the Cowboys. Now, the pair won't feature any team logos, it won't have NFL, but the colorway is obviously a nod to the team, and it features white, metallic silver, and college navy. Now, with this pair, I have seen some boutiques release these early, so I've seen quite a few people with them in hand, but they have yet to drop on the sneakers app or Nike.com. I haven't seen anywhere online just yet, so if you've seen them, let me know down below so other people, can know who want to pick them up. But as for a wider release, I would expect something to honestly take place anytime now, potentially in November, and the retail price will be $155. We have a new Stranger Things Nike collection dropping this holiday season. Now, in the past, we saw a preview of the Nike Dunk Low, but it turns out there's actually a total of 4 pairs dropping. There could be more, but 4 for now. And the other 3 pairs include the Air Max 187, the Field General High, and the LD 1000. So each pair represents a character from the show, although the Dunk hasn't came out which character it represents or if it's just Stranger Things as a whole. So the Air Max 1 represents Steve Harrington, the Field General High is for 11, and the LD 1000 is for Erica Sinclair. Now, the images aren't that great. They leaked from Nike's server, but along with the sneakers, we have matching apparel. The apparel is pretty decent. I'll be honest, I watched the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things and I haven't got back onto it. I want to watch the last season, but I feel like I need to go back and watch the first 2 again. A lot of these have 80s vibes as well, which makes sense as Stranger Things is supposed to take place in the 80s. I'm curious to see the Field General High, a close-up of those. And the Air Max 1, it does have OG vibes to them. Now, all 4 pairs we don't have a release date for, but they are expected to drop this holiday season. The retail price for the Air Max 1 is $180. The Field General High will cost $135. The LG 1000 will cost $105, and the Nike Dunk Low will cost $155. Last week, Nike officially unveiled the Doernbecher Freestyle 21 collection, and we saw a first look at the entire collection as well. We have the prices for each and history of each designer. So in the past, I like to give the designers their shine, talk about their story, and so forth. Each one did a great job. I'm never going to say one is bad or anything like that. They're kids. But I'm sure we have our favorites, and I'll talk about that later on in the video. Now be prepared, I will be butchering names. I'm trying my best, but I do apologize if I mispronounce any names. Also, I typically wait to talk about the Air Jordan in the Air Jordan part of the video, but I'm just going to talk about it at the end in the Nike segment, just to keep things flowing. So first up, we have the Nike Air Max Plus by SERGIO CANO MARQUEZ. Again, I apologize if I mispronounced his name. But from Doernbecher, it reads, Sergio had only been in the womb for 4 months when his doctors discovered that he would face a lifetime of medical challenges. Sergio was diagnosed with mucopolysaccharidosis. I believe that's how you pronounced it. I'll be honest, this is the first time I even heard that word. But type 4A, an extremely rare metabolic disorder that primarily affects development of the skeletal system. To strengthen his back, Sergio had surgery to place a metal rod along his spine. He'll also need infusion therapy for the rest of his life. As serious as this all sounds, Sergio prefers a look on the bright side. Now I'm partly made out of metal, he said, proudly. He also loves showing off his hypermobile joints and makes it a point to stay as active as he can. While Sergio's disease makes him look a little different, he thinks that being different is awesome and designed his custom Nike Air Max Plus for those who feel the same. The black shoe is dedicated to his love of video games, while the rocket ship headed to Mars is a nod to his dad, Marcelino's nickname. On the white shoe, you'll find a monster lizard enjoying a pizza slice against a vibrant New York skyline. Basketball on the tongue reflects Sergio's love of the sport, and those colorful holes on the outsole represent buttons of his video game controller. To express his gratitude to the medical team that saved his life, Sergio plans to pay it forward by becoming a doctor someday. I want to be a surgeon so I can tell people not to worry because I have the tools to fix them, he explained. Sergio also has a bit of advice for other young patients going through a tough time. Never give up because the strength you need to survive is already inside you, he smiled. So the retail price for the Air Max Plus will be $165. Now, we don't have a specific release date for the entire collection, but each pair will drop spring 2026, which means the release will take place between January and March. I do believe they'll drop in January. The last collection did. And the collection will be available on the Sneakers app and Shoe Palace. Probably a few additional locations, but like always, more on that soon. Next up, we have the Nike Air Force One by Ollie FASONE-LANCASTER. And reading from the press release, Julia Child once said that there's no end to imagination in the kitchen, and Ollie would tend to agree. This aspiring chef loves whipping up dishes for the family, putting his own special touches on everything from veggie tacos to African yam stew. Ollie was diagnosed with cancer when he was in kindergarten, which required long hospital stays and 5 rounds of chemotherapy. When he relapsed in 2024, Ollie also underwent a bone marrow transplant to help him grow more healthy blood cells and boost his immune system. Ollie now celebrates a 2nd birthday in August in recognition of the day he was given his life-saving procedure. His cancer treatment was a lengthy process that left Ollie feeling overwhelmed. So like a true foodie, he decided to replace all the complex names of his medications with the names of his favorite foods and even made posters to help his nurses keep track of it all. Tylenol became teriyaki, platelets were pasta, and Celicept was salsa, Ollie explained. It just made everything a little more fun and a little less scary. In addition to his culinary skills, Ollie loves to sing, ride his bike, and paint, especially rainbows. He estimates that he created well over 100 rainbow paintings and shares them with his family, friends, and medical team as a symbol of hope, positivity, and unity. You'll find one of those rainbows covering the outsole of Ollie's signature Air Force One to help you look on the bright side when the going gets tough. A garden of vegetables on the sock liner represents the bountiful garden he tends with his family, and should you feel like snacking on the go, there is a miniature set of stainless steel utensils on the upper. As for the embossed olive branches on the swoosh, those are a nod to Ollie's full name, Oliver. They also echo his medical journey. We planted a little olive tree in our yard when I was born, and when I got sick, the tree got sick too, he explained. As soon as I started getting better, so did our tree. For Ollie, the only thing better than getting to design a custom Nike shoe is knowing that his shoe will benefit other young patients. The fact that it will help save other kids' lives makes me happy, he smiled, really happy. This pair will also drop spring 2026, and the retail price will be $120. KHOVNY Kathleen Vignery got the opportunity to design the Nike V2K run. So reading from Doernbecher, KHOVNY's unique name has extra special significance. It's a tribute to Dr. Stephanie and Dimitri Dukunvi. I know I got that wrong. The Doernbecher physicians who saved her life as a baby. In 2016, a fetal ultrasound revealed that KHOVNY had a rare lymphatic disorder that causes fluid to accumulate around her lungs. Sadly, the same condition claimed the life of her baby brother Ryan a year earlier. But because KHOVNY's case was identified earlier, doctors were able to successfully drain the fluid and deliver her via C-section at 33 weeks. Today, KHOVNY is a vibrant, spunky little girl who loves drawing, dancing, Taylor Swift, and snakes. I like banana pythons the best because they're cute and slithery, and give the biggest hugs, she said. You'll find all kinds of friendly critters on KHOVNY's vibrant Nike V2K run, including a shiny snake and a drawing of her favorite stuffy, Papa Bear. He lights up if you push on him, she said excitedly. Butterflies flit across the back, and a miniature of KHOVNY's stuffed monkey, Pinky Doo-Doo, dangles off the side. Perhaps the most meaningful detail is the detachable friendship bracelet that bears the name of her brother. Even though I never met Ryan, I wanted to do something that would help people remember him, she said. With her whole life now ahead of her, KHOVNY is focused on pursuing her career goals, of which there are many. I want to be a horseback rider, a gymnast teacher, a professional dancer, and an artist. I'd also like to be a mermaid, with a tail that matches my shoes. Dropping spring 2026, the retail price is $130. Next up, we had the Nike VOMERO Plus, designed by Molly Bell. Should you ever find yourself lost in the woods, you can count on Molly Bell to save the day. Not only is Molly a skilled botanist who can identify all kinds of plants, she also has excellent archery skills and can build a campfire in record time. This intelligent, nature-loving teen dreams of becoming a field biologist and traveling to the Amazon rainforest to study its rich biodiversity. Until then, she spends her time playing the piano, making intricate wood carvings, and climbing the tallest trees she can find. When Molly was in the first grade, she started speaking in a very distinct speech pattern with small pauses between words. Her parents also noticed other changes in her behavior. For instance, she had trouble transitioning between activities and had a hard time connecting with other kids. While those traits might seem typical for many kids, they can also be signs of autism spectrum disorder, a neurodevelopmental condition that's often misunderstood. Symptoms present as a wide range of behaviors that can impact how people think, process information, and experience the world. Molly clearly remembers when she was diagnosed with autism at Doernbecher last year. I had to do a bunch of tests, but they were the fun kind that involves logic puzzles and action figures, she explained. Molly took the news of her diagnosis in stride and says that knowing she's autistic helps her understand herself a little better. I actually think I have a normal amount of social awkwardness, she joked. To create her custom Nike VOMERO Plus, Molly decided to channel her love for the great outdoors into every aspect of the design. That's a Kamas flower, her favorite, embroidered on the upper, and the swoosh features a cool lenticular leaf print. A cloven hoof print appears on the outsole, and the midsole is speckled brown to hide any dirt you might pick up on the trail. Of course, no outdoor enthusiast should be without a field guide, so Molly designed one just for you. It's got a hiking checklist so you won't forget anything and places to write down all the cool things you see in the woods, she said. Most importantly, it's got a quote from her favorite author, Robin Wall Kimmerer, that she hopes will guide you on life's journey. The most important thing that each of us can know is our unique gift and how to use it in the world. Molly Bell's Nike VOMERO Plus will drop in spring 2026 for $165. RAEGAN SCHEID designed the Nike Air Max DNA. Nothing can keep RAEGAN SCHEID from playing the sports she loves, not even a congenital heart condition. A lifelong athlete, RAEGAN couldn't figure out why she felt so tired and dizzy at practice and games. After lots of appointments and tests, doctors discovered that one of her coronary arteries was connected to the wrong side of her heart. Even after open heart surgery at Doernbecher to fix the issue, RAEGAN refused to stay on the sidelines for long. "I never pushed myself so hard," she admitted. "When the nurses gave her a goal to get up and walk 3 times a day, I did it 6 times. Her hard work paid off. RAEGAN played in her first softball tournament just 9 weeks after surgery and has set her sights on playing Division I softball as soon as she gets to college. RAEGAN's determination is matched only by her creativity, which is evident on her one-of-a-kind Nike Air Max DNA. The upper is covered with reflective sport graphics, while the Nike Air Bubbles have softball stitching to represent RAEGAN's favorite sport. Since RAEGAN's happy place is the beach, frothy waves splash across the midsole. Her golden retriever, Blue, shows up as a lace charm. Also featured is the date of her surgery and the day she started playing softball again. And to help carry you forward in challenging times, RAEGAN shared the words that keep her going. "I can do hard things." Although RAEGAN plans to become a nurse someday, she's already finding ways to support kids facing medical challenges. In addition to volunteering as a Doernbecher peer mentor, RAEGAN saved up her allowance and donated hundreds of heart-shaped stress balls to the cardiac unit. "Our team still continues to give them to young patients and tell RAEGAN's story," said Annie Catchman, a nurse practitioner on RAEGAN's team. "Will always be inspired by her positive attitude and selfless heart." So her pair is dropping spring 2026, and the retail price is $210. Alright, so last up we have the Air Jordan 17 by Zach RUMBAUGH. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. In the summer of 2024, Zach was enjoying a birthday party at his friend's house when he jumped into the pool. He didn't know it at the time, but he had an extremely rare heart condition that causes dangerous arrhythmias when triggered by stress or adrenaline. In Zach's case, the shock of hitting the cold water completely stopped his heart. Bystanders and emergency responders sprang into action, performing CPR so Zach could be stabilized enough to survive an emergency surgery in Salem and life flight to Doernbecher, where he then received highly specialized level 1 trauma care and additional surgery. He spent over 25 days in the PICU, where he was placed on a ventilator and ECMO machine to give his lungs and heart the time they needed to heal. Beating the odds, Zach made an astonishing full recovery and was able to go home after 38 total days in the hospital. "I'm really grateful to everyone who worked so hard to save my life," Zach said. "If you don't know CPR, you should learn how." These days, Zach is a happy, active guy who enjoys lifting weights, playing his guitar, and fixing things, especially bikes and cars. He hopes to be a mechanic someday and can already replace filters and bulbs, fill the oil, or fix a flat tire. "YouTube is a great teacher," he grinned. Zach poured his love for all things mechanical into the Air Jordan 17, which features hex-shaped hardware on the eyelets and chrome elements inspired by Michael Jordan's motorcycle. The collar features the same soft suede as a luxury steering wheel, and if you pop open the lace cover, you'll find interchangeable silver charms. Because Zach is adopted from Vietnam, he also wanted to honor his culture by including a turtle graphic on the sock liner. In Vietnamese culture, the turtle is a symbol of protection and endurance. Zach hopes his shoe will bring you plenty of both. So Zach's Air Jordan 17 will drop spring 2026, and I've seen different retail prices. I've seen $230, I've also seen $255, but the one I'm seeing most of is $230. So again, I think the whole collection is great, but for me, the number one for me would be the Air Jordan 17. I like the colorway on them. Not only that, I don't even know the last time we saw a mid drop. I believe the Countdown pack. And then the other pair would be the VOMERO Plus, and the reason for that is it hits very, very, very close to home. So those ones, if anything, I will be picking up. But honestly, I think overall they did a great job. I like the colorways of each, and let me know your favorite down below and your overall thoughts about the collection. Alright, so I was supposed to drop this information yesterday, but unfortunately I fell asleep too early, didn't get to record. So it's going out today. You may have seen this information going around, but in fall 2026, we have the Nike Air Foamposite Pro College Football Pack, also known as the Collegiate Pack. So there will be a total of 4 colorways dropping. Each pair represents different college teams. Now, before I run down the teams that will be represented and the colorways and so forth, just as a heads up, what you're looking at is a mock-up. This is not an accurate representation of what's releasing. I have yet to see the pack. I'm hoping that I'm able to soon, but first up we have the Air Foamposite Pro FSU. So this pair will feature a team maroon and white colorway. Next we have the Foamposite Pro LSU, which is dressed in university gold and white. The third pair is the Foamposite Pro Ohio State. This pair will be dressed in white and university red. And then the last one is the Foamposite Pro TCU, which will be dressed in new orchid and white. So since this is part of Nike's fall 2026 collection, it means that a release will take place between July and September. Currently, I don't know the retail price, but it's probably going to be anywhere between $240 and $260. Hopefully not that high. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and official images popped up of the Air Jordan 4 Blue Chill. Now this is a kids exclusive, and overall I think it's solid, but it features a photon dust, flat pewter, white, and blue chill colorway. I will admit I do kind of wish they dropped an adult sizing because I really like the tongue label. It looks like a metallic chrome. I'm sure it's not really chrome. It reads Jordan and it's outlined in blue. Other than that, we have photon dust on the upper, which looks more white. The pair also features flat pewter accents and a translucent rubber outsole. This pair is also inspired by the Greatest series, and it also includes the Air Jordan 1 Mid. This pair is dropping on November 1st for $165. Alright, so official images just dropped of the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Chicago, and this is a pretty hyped release in my opinion. Should be a decent amount of pairs to go around, but the Chicago colorway, it's an OG colorway, it's a fan favorite. Although in low top form, it's not an OG pair. The first time it dropped in OG form was in 2016, but I'm sure people really don't care about that. It's still a very, very dope shoe. Now, what I do like about this pair aside from the blocking is that it does come with a larger swoosh. I think it makes this pair a lot more desirable, at least in my opinion. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase the official images. As you know, a release is around the corner. They're going to drop on November 15th, and the retail price will be $145. Sometime back, Z and I, we leaked the shoe, but we didn't know how it was going to look. And since we received a first look, the nickname has changed, where we're calling it Cell and Coconut Milk, just because we didn't know how it was going to look, but that was part of the colorway. But now it's being called the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Floral Swoosh. So that nickname comes from the swoosh on the panels. As you can see, it has flowers, vines, and other small stuff embroidered to form the swoosh. Now in some of these images, it looks like it has like a blue shade on the overlays, but that's not going to be blue. It's going to be closer to like a gray, but it also comes with Cell on the base, and I know a lot of people are not fans of coconut milk, but that will be used on the midsole to give it an aged look. Now the pair also comes with the Wings logo on the heel, as well as the Nike Air on the tongue, and they'll feature an aged translucent rubber outsole. Now as for the release date, the pair is scheduled to drop on March 7th, and the retail price will be $165. Another first look that we recently received is the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Medium Olive, and another clean pair, simple color blocking, something I like. And in recent years, the medium olive shade has been associated with Travis Scott releases. Obviously, this isn't going to be a collab, but let's be honest, if the pair featured a backward swoosh in Travis Scott's name, these would be selling out instantly, but it's not, which for some could be a good thing because these will be easy to obtain. They're expected to be a GR, so there'll be plenty pairs available. So you won't have to jump through hoops to get them. You won't have to pay resale or anything like that. But the pair features a medium olive, black, summit white, and cell colorway. As you can see, nubuck lands on the overlays done in medium olive. We have white leather on the base, cell on the midsole, and then black fills in the swoosh, wings logo on the heel, laces, and the tongue label. The look is then completed with a green rubber outsole. So if this is something you want to pick up, they're scheduled to drop on January 31st, and the retail price will be $145. I'm super glad these leaked because I have more information to go over on, I guess you can call them hybrids or mashups of the Air Jordan 40 and other classic Air Jordan silhouettes. So I finally get to leak 3 additional pairs, but first we're going to talk about the 2 pairs that leaked yesterday. So the first one is the Air Jordan 4016 in Midnight Navy. Now this pair I'm sure looks familiar to a lot of you, and that is that this Air Jordan 40 is inspired by the Air Jordan 16, specifically the Midnight Navy pair. Now that is an OG pair, initially dropped in 2001, and the shoes are known for its removable shroud. So from the official photos, the shroud, you will be able to remove them on this pair. It features navy patent leather on the toe box, which is also a nod to the Air Jordan 16. As I mentioned, the shroud can be removed. Underneath, it looks like we have Velcro areas as well as places you can snap the shroud back on. Navy patent leather also lands on the top of the tongue. And then the midsole is from the Air Jordan 40. So kind of like a Pro release, but obviously a new design. It has new tech, but a bit of an older look. Yes, the shroud isn't 1-for-1 of the 16, and the overall shape isn't 1-for-1, but you can definitely see what they're going for here. Lastly, it features a translucent rubber outsole. So for this pair, they're going to drop this holiday season, so sometime between October and December, and the retail price will be $205. Now the next pair is the Air Jordan 40 23 Stealth. This pair is inspired by the Air Jordan 23, the Stealth colorway, and it features a black, stealth, and varsity red color combination. Same situation with the 4016. The midsole will be of the Air Jordan 40, so it has the new tech, but the upper has been modified to pay tribute to the Air Jordan 23. As you can see, it has the 23 DNA-inspired stitching on the panels. It does have a shiny midsole as well. On the left tongue, we have the number 23, and on the right, we have the Jumpman. And they also have Nike Air on the heel, and just above it, on the top of the heel, you can see a fingerprint, which I believe was placed on the inside of the tongue of the Air Jordan 23. The pair also features an icy translucent rubber outsole. So no specific release date for this pair, but expected to drop this holiday season, and the retail price will be $205. Alright, so these next 3 pairs are leaks. Now, they're all mock-ups. I'm not sure how they're going to look. However, with this pair, I was given a description of how they were going to look. Obviously, things could change, and that's pretty much why I held off on leaking the other 2 pairs, because I was under the impression that it could be like a hybrid. The midsole would be of the Air Jordan 40, and then the upper would be of whatever silhouette it's inspired by. So in this case, we have the Air Jordan 40 28. This pair is inspired by the Air Jordan 28 Stealth, also known as All-Star. Now, this is an OG colorway of the Jordan 28, and they initially dropped back in 2013. Now, what I was told is that it would feature that extended shroud on the upper, which of course can be zipped down, and then the midsole will be taken from the Air Jordan 40. Now, the official colorway on this pair is black, metallic silver, and barely vault. I also heard there's another Air Jordan 40 28 dropping, which is known as WNBA. I was also told that it could be a Maya Moore PE that will be released. So I haven't fully leaked that information because I'm not sure if it's just going to be a WNBA pair or if it's going to be a Maya Moore PE. But just want to give you guys the heads up here, of course. And for this pair, they're expected to drop summer 2026. Currently, I don't have a retail price. They could be $205, but I'm thinking they might be a bit more with the extended shroud. But yeah, more information coming soon. Also releasing is the Air Jordan 4020. So this pair will be inspired by the Air Jordan 20. Specifically, what is being called the white and varsity red pair. Now, again, this is an OG colorway. Initially dropped in 2005. Now, this is a mock-up. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to look, but based off of the 2 initial leaks that happened yesterday, Z and I put together this mock-up of what they could look like. So the official colorway is white, black, and varsity red, and this pair will drop spring 2026, which means a release will take place between January and March. And no retail price, but I suspect they'll cost $205. Okay, so the last pair is the Air Jordan 4014. So as you know, this will be inspired by the Air Jordan 14, specifically the Ferrari colorway. Now this pair will feature a challenge red, black, and vibrant yellow colorway. Now the Air Jordan 14 Ferrari isn't an OG colorway. They first released in 2014, and then we saw a retro of this pair take place earlier in the year. Now again, this is a mock-up. I'm not sure how it's going to look. But for this pair, they're expected to drop summer 2026. So that means a release will take place between April and June. And no retail price, but again, probably going to cost $205. Alright, so I promise you guys, I'm not trying to hate. I'm not trying to be upset about things. I pretty much keep things news related, but these next 3 shoes, there's something about them that just irritates me with each. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. So the first pair is the Air Jordan 12 Taxi. It's a beautiful shoe. It's a classic. As you know, it's an OG colorway, first dropped in 1996. They last released in 2013, and they're returning next month. Now, generally, I would be really excited about the return, and ultimately, I am. I think I'm more upset about the product shots that we have here. Now, these come from Finish Line, and they leaked early, but I don't know if somebody needs to tell Finish Line this, and no disrespect to them, but they couldn't fix the tongue on these, like pull it back a little bit. It's throwing the shape all off to me. Now, I've been complaining about the Air Jordan 12 shape for some time. They did good on the flu game. And recently somebody complained to me, left a comment saying, why am I complaining about it? Who cares? Yada, yada, yada. And here's the thing. If you don't care about the shape, that's totally fine. The reason I complain about it is in hopes that somebody over there at Jordan Brand will hear this, see the comments down below if people agree, and typically people are agreeing with me. Again, it's okay to disagree with me. I'm not one of those people who get upset about that, but maybe, just maybe, they'll make a change. But like I mentioned, ultimately, yes, I am excited about the release. I just wish they had done better. Now, as for the release details, they're going to drop November 8th. The retail price will be $215, and these will be easy to obtain. It will be a GR. Well, let me take that back. I don't want to say easy to obtain because, honestly, it's hit or miss. Yes, 12s are very popular. This is an OG colorway, so there's going to be a lot of pairs. I just don't know if the hype will exceed the amount of pairs that will be released, but hopefully everybody trying to obtain a pair will be able to. Alright, so the next pair is another pair that overall I am excited and happy they are returning, but I do have an issue with them, and that is the Air Jordan 5 Wolf Gray. Now for this pair, it's not an OG colorway, but they dropped back in 2011, and I have seen quite a few people say, hey, when can we get a return on these? They would leave comments and so forth, and I don't know if Jordan Brand saw that, potentially so, but we're getting the pair next year. Now, what is my complaint about this shoe? It's the materials. Now, when images initially leaked, I thought maybe the individual who posted the photos, they got a bad pair. But if you look at the upper, you're going to notice like a lot of wrinkles on this shoe. Almost like it's its own design. Now, from what I can recall, the original pair did not have this. Yes, I'm sure they could be trying to do something new, put a twist on an older colorway. But personally, I don't get the point of this. Just give us nubuck. In my opinion, I feel like it makes the shoe look cheap. And the price appears to be going up. These are going to cost $220 instead of $215. I don't know, maybe when we get closer to the release date, Jordan Brand will have an explanation on why they used it and it'll make sense. But for now, I'm kind of up in the air on it. But as for the release details, they're going to drop on January 10th. The retail price will be $220. So my last rant for this video is going to be the upcoming Air Jordan 1 High 85 Bred. Now, I want to address something because I've been seeing a lot of rumors going around about this shoe. And some people are stating that this is going to be a GR. That is further from the truth. These are nowhere near a GR. In fact, I've heard that there are going to be less pairs available compared to the initial drop that took place back in February 2025. Now, official images recently leaked of the holiday pair. As you know, they do have two different style codes indicating different production runs. By the sake of Nike, these are considered different shoes. Now, to you and I, it looks the same. From the official images, they are exactly the same. I see some people saying that they changed the height and stuff like that. No, they did not. These are the exact same height as the February pair. It might look different, and that's just because of the angles of the images. Now, so far, the only new thing that has been added in is the laces. So the laces included in this pair is a set of red, a set of black, and then a third set, which is black with gold speckles in it and gold lace tips. Now, the pair that released back in February, I believe it came with white laces and black laces. Now, from these angles, I don't see anywhere that says they're numbered. Could they be? Sure. Nor has the packaging leaked of these shoes. So it was rumored that they were going to have special packaging. I can't confirm that as of yet. As some of you may know, in my previous videos, I've asked 100 questions, 100 times to different people if they had information about these, all my sources, and none of them had information. They kept it very quiet. So what is my issue with this release now? To me, it looks like, for one, they really didn't make any big changes. Yes, they added in some new laces, potentially a new box, but my biggest issue is that they're going to make them more limited than the first drop. Why not make this close or even a GR? We saw how fast the initial drop sold out. We saw how many people wanted them. And you had all this time since February to just start producing pairs to make them close to a GR or even a GR. This way it would give people a better chance at obtaining them. Yes, I do own the pair that released back in February. So regardless of how these are packaged or if they're numbered, I'm not going after them. I already own the pair. I'm very happy with them. It's a great shoe in hand, although it's not close to the OG mold in my opinion, but they did good overall. And this is a classic colorway. It's holiday season. I'm sure there would be a lot of people wanting to pick these up, but unfortunately they're going to be more limited than the pair that dropped back in February. Now, there was a lot of rumors that these were going to shock drop on October 18th, which was band day, but that never happened. They may just shock drop one day. I'm not entirely sure, but if there is a release date, I will make sure to update you in a following news video. But the retail price on these is expected to be $250. Now, let me know down below your thoughts on these three pairs I talked about and kind of my rant, my issues with the pair. If you share the same issues or not, what are your thoughts overall? New photos have popped up of the Air Jordan 6 reverse infrared. Now, with these new images, we have a look at the packaging, which I feel is pretty dope. But unfortunately, with these images, we don't have a look at the sample tag. The pair is expected to come with a special sample tag. It has all the information about the shoes. Initially, this pair was a sample. It was supposed to release around the year 2000, but the sample was produced back in 1999. The shoes were spotted in an East Bay catalog as well. Some pairs did get out, so they were floating around the internet back on Nike Talk. That's where I remember seeing them. Now, the reason why I didn't use the prior images is because the photos that were taken, they come from a known replica sneaker seller, so it wasn't really a first look. I know a lot of blogs and IG pages posted them. I personally decided not to, just because I knew for a fact where they came from. But I will say with each pair, the shade of red used looks different, and obviously that is due to the lighting. They look more washed out here, but it should be a bit more vibrant. Now, what I like about this shoe is the red Nike Air on the heel. I think that really sets this pair off. I know some people aren't huge fans of this pair. They'd rather have the infrared return. I get that, but what I've previously said is that I'm happy with this change. I think they look really dope, and I 100% plan on grabbing them. Now, the packaging is a nod to sample pairs. It's all brown. However, the way it's shaped is also inspired by the Air Jordan 6 box. Now, sometimes, more typically, samples do not come with packaging. I used to buy a lot of samples from an individual. I don't know his job title, but he used to have like a ton of stuff, and he would sell them super cheap, but they never came with boxes. A lot of times they would come with a replacement box, but there are some times where samples would come with the orange label like shown here, and then the box is just like a standard brown box. So I'm pretty sure that's what it's a tribute to. But yeah, this will be a big release. Full GR, dropping in full family sizing, and they're currently scheduled to drop on February 14th during All-Star Weekend, and the retail price is said to be $215. They could go up, but for now, $215. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on this pair down below. For me, it's a definite pickup. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, speaking of new videos, I will drop one either Monday or Tuesday. More than likely, it will be the November 2025 Air Jordan and Nike release dates video. Yes, I kind of went over that in the holiday release dates video, but I feel like I can go a little more into detail on the November drops. As well, I will be covering Nike, so expect that to drop either Monday or Tuesday. And of course, another news video next week. But for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave those down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.